Today we are going to talk about the new method for deploying your React application to Firebase. So we will change from this Firebase token legacy method to the new one because this is soon going to be deprecated. If you have already started doing that, watch this video until the end if you're facing some problems like I did in my experience. The first issue that I faced was Firebase not found. So the command will not be like this. Of course, if you will open the browser, the deploy to Firebase documentation, this gives you a code like this, and I ended up in a simple, very huge problem which I couldn't find any solution about, and that's why I decided to do this video. I hope this helps out to a lot of other people as well. Before wasting any time, let's quickly begin. Before we proceed, what you have to do is store the credentials that you get from Firebase as a token to your environment variable. Let's go back to the Firebase first. And before we do that, you will find this documentation basically easily available in net, circleci.com, how to deploy to Firebase. So you need to add a environment variable key to credential.json and then use it for a connection and deploying to Firebase. The thing is, I still ran into problem, and I suppose you will too. If you do, then please follow the video and fix your problem for this deployment. Open the Firebase, go to project settings. Once you go there, click on service accounts, and here I have 3 service accounts attached to my Firebase. You might have different number. Once you click on that, you will also land in the IAM page in console.cloud.google.com. From there, what you have to do, you have to go to the service account. So go to the left side, left navigation pane, click on service accounts. Here you will see your service account. Here on the right side of 3 dots, click there, click on manage keys. I have a key already set up over here, but if you don't have a key there, then click on create new key. Here you can choose JSON and then click create. Once you get the JSON file on your local machine, let's go back to the circleci to rewind a little bit. What we are going to do right now is go to your project. My project is named my app testing for this demo, so I will go there, go to project settings, and here find the environment variables on the left side. You can see I've already added my environment variable as SA_key. You have to do it similar way, but now you'd wonder that JSON file is a file. How do you convert it to a string? It's not a rocket science. I took a time to figure it out. It was not available in the documentation, unfortunately, or might not be easy for me to find. You basically have to convert that file's data to base64 string and then use that base64 string as environment variable in circleci. So go to the terminal, go to the path where that JSON file is stored, type in the command to convert it to base64 string. You need to provide the input file. In my case, it is named as credentials.json and hit enter. You'll get this kind of string. Just copy it and use the name that you want. In my case, it is SA_key, and paste the value over here. Click on add environment variable. That's it. That's all the setup that you need to do in circleci for this deployment in Firebase. Once you do that, go back to your VS Code or whichever ID that you're using. Open that config.yml file. After npm run build, follow the same procedure as it is written in the in the circleci documentation. So basically copy these 2 commands for deploying to Firebase. You can either use the same run command or you can actually create a different one. Let's for now name it differently so that we can actually distinguish between the different steps. Here we'll say build the app, and next one would be deploy to Firebase. Command I just copied from there. So you also have to do the same. What it is doing, it is fetching the SA key, that environment variable name. You replace it with the name that you added in your circleci environment variable to a credential.json file and passing it to Google application credentials. Okay, let's try this out. I'm going to push these changes to my circleci. It will just take a minute. You can use a terminal, or you can use the source tree, anything that you use for pushing the changes to the master. Let's check what happens in circleci now. You see a built-in test build, test node, and then it will run build and deploy. As expected, this failed. Let's go to the logs and see why it failed. It didn't find the Firebase, and perhaps this is the reason why you're here. You're facing this error, Firebase command not found. How to fix this? Let's go back to our config.yml. So basically what happens with circleci, it is not getting the Firebase. As per the documentation, you should add this to your package.json file in the dev dependencies. Firebase-tools should be there. Make sure you have Firebase-tools in your dev dependencies. I have it configured. It failed for me. First, you have to install the npm. Use this command before running the build. Second, you need to use npm to execute Firebase deploy. Third, and but not the least, is you have to decode the base64 string. That is something that we provided in environment variable. Remember to do that. So let's use quotes for the key. We pass it to credentials.json. Then we decode it using base64. Shares.json. So we just read the key, decode it, and then save it in credentials.json. So remember three things. One, npm install. Second, base64 decode the key, save it in credentials.json, pass it to Google application credentials, and last but not the least, execute Firebase deploy using npm exec. That's it. I'm going to save it, commit my changes to the repo, and then let's wait for a minute for our circleci to build. Let's go back here. This has started. Let's wait for a minute. After these changes, your build will be successful and deploy to Firebase. If you go to your application hosting, and then you will see that the latest application is already deployed in your URL. You can check this out. For me, this is just a dummy application page. For you, it might be something great. If this build and deploy is bothers me as well in a single job step. In the next video, we'll talk about how you can separate these two build and deploy steps in different jobs. So click on the next video if you want to know that information, and as always, like and subscribe for more. Thank you.